Welcome back to another episode of Popcorn and Pals, the podcast where we talk about all sorts of movies, good and bad, and give you our completely unqualified takes on them. He's Zach, and I'm Justin, and today we're talking about the 1967 romantic comedy drama that will hopefully make you want to be a better person. It's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. But first, before we dive into the details, Zachary, do you want to kick us off with your patented plot summary?
Sure, I'll get right into this one. A couple is shocked to learn that their daughter plans to marry a man she just met on vacation 10 days ago. They obviously have many reservations. Some are perfectly understandable, and some are terribly outdated.
That's really good.
Yeah, hey, I was like, I'm not going to go there 100%. So,
There's a lot of ways you could have
there's a
taken
lot
it.
of outdated stuff. It's like a progressive movie that's terribly outdated, right? So.
Yeah. That was really good though. Bravo. Hats off for
Yeah.
Zach.
No, I didn't go too crazy at this one.
Yeah. It's a touchy subject and one that, honestly is still unfortunately pretty relevant today, I feel like.
More so than I think I realized, you know, 10 years ago, right, when I was
Yeah.
younger.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that fun stuff, I was curious, have you, the Oscars were nominated or released? Not nominated, but, the nominees came out. Have
Hmm.
you looked at any of that? Or are you an Oscar person?
It depends. Like, I feel like if there's movies that I feel like I have like stake in and I really enjoyed, then I do care. But um I know some of them, obviously, Leo's movie,
Yeah, one battle after another. I can go down the
yes.
list real quick and
Yeah.
see care or don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
Begonia.
Don't care.
Every dad's favorite movie this year, F1.
I never saw it. I don't know.
I know. It's on my list. I'm seeing it before the Oscars. I'm gonna watch it like next week or two. I feel like my dadness in me. I watched Ford versus Ferrari the other day. I was like, I'm into this space. This is my
Are you
space now.
you're into, like, racing? Like, racing
No,
movies?
just dad movies, Just like
Oh,
about like just something my
just
wife
da
would be like, "Why are you watching this?" It's like World War II, car movies, product
Yeah,
movies, right? I'm gonna
yeah.
go watch the BlackBerry movie. So, I'm in my dad era. All
Yeah.
right. Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was
I'm
good.
down. Mhm.
Hamnet.
I ain't even never heard of it before this award season.
Yeah. Who is in it? It is
It's Paul Mescal?
Mezcal, yeah, or
Yeah.
Mezcal, yeah. I don't know. I'm like waiting for the Worthington Heights with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi,
Mm.
right?
You a big fan? You gonna go see it by yourself in theaters?
No, I'm pretty sure my wife will make me go see it.
Yeah.
It's
I
right up her alley.
isn't that supposed
I
to
feel
be,
like
like
it's like a more risque version.
yeah, it's like the movie for, like, romance, right? Isn't that what it's
Mhm.
supposed to
Yeah.
Mm.
Marty Supreme, which I haven't seen yet, but I actually
I know.
kinda wanna see it.
Yeah, me too.
Um, One Battle After Another, which I thought was great.
Mhm.
The Secret Agent, which is like a Brazilian film. I
I've
don't know.
never heard of that.
No. Sentimental Value,
Same.
same.
Never heard of it.
Have you ever heard of Sinners?
Sinners was I loved it. Sinners was great.
That's my pick
Yeah.
personally for the year.
Yeah.
I loved that movie. I thought it was great.
Sinners was awesome. I feel like it's not gonna win when I feel like it should win, but it's not because it's going up against One Battle After Another. I feel like that's
Yeah,
gonna
there's a lot
sweep
of
it.
momentum around that film, which
It's
I thought
really good, but
it is.
I mean, I don't know. Sinners was Sinners was right there with it in my opinion.
Yeah. No, if anything, I thought Sinners was a better time.
Mm,
It's got the whole clan killing scene at the end. You're like, I'm into
yeah.
it.
I thought
Just tacked on.
the entire scene where they, like, introduce Jack O'Connell's character and they, like, sing and do that song, that whole scene, I was like, "Whoa." This
Yeah, there's
is
very few movies I feel like you watch where you're like seeing something you've never seen before.
mm,
And I feel like the yeah, like the playing through time and like the communication of music through all the eras and it's for the future and the past and blah blah blah. I thought it
mm.
was great.
Let's
It's so
just
cool.
you know what? I don't who cares about Look Who or Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Let's just do Sinners right now.
I think the themes are the same, except with vampires.
But the racism might be a little bit harder on
One
Sinners, but
the themes are the same. Same with
yeah,
One Battle After Another, right? That's another one. It's
yeah.
as relevant today as it's ever been, I think. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And
Mhm.
then the last movie is Train Dreams. I have no idea what that movie is.
Oh, with, oh, what's his name?
Joel
Joel
Edgerton?
yes, it is really good, but don't ever watch it. It will wreck you. It
Like
is
like it's disturbing, or is it sad or
depressing.
depressing?
Arguably one of the most depressing movies I've seen in recent history, but it's really good. Everything about it is really good. It's beautifully shot, well acted, all the things, but it's just very it made me just wanna sit in a corner and stare at a wall for after I finished it. It was it's not a happy time.
Nice.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't even know, like, when are the Academy Awards? I don't even know.
Yeah, they're in February, so this month, I think, coming
Mhm.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We hadn't talked about him yet. I always
Well
find, like, the last 10 years of Academy Awards, when you go back in the '90s, there are years, like, I've seen every movie just, like, naturally
mhm.
in life because they're, like, important to water cooler discussions or whatever, and I feel like nowadays, you get, like it's a 10-movie category, and you get, like, 3 movies that are, like, relevant to, like, the pop culture and to the normal lay people, and then
Mhm.
it's, like, Begonia, which is, like, made for the Academy, you know?
Yeah.
It's
But
made to be an Oscar contender.
what was the
Emma
one
Stone might disagree with me, but
what was the one was it last year or the year before about the, like, drug cartel leader?
oh, Amelia Perez, who was yeah, that
Yeah. Yeah. I remember it just, like, that they got raked over the coals for it. And I mean, I never watched it. I couldn't tell you if it was a good movie or not. It feels like an artsy-fartsy movie,
it
and
was a musical too.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I just from the outside looking in, everything that I heard about it was just really bad, and I don't know. Not to say listen to what everybody else says, but yeah, I feel like you're right. There are some movies these days that it's like, "Nah, this is a little bit too far out there for a lot of, mainstream people, it seems."
Yeah.
But maybe that's the point. I don't know. It's art. It's all subjective.
I just feel like there's, like, a bias
Mm,
that's, when I feel like in the '90s especially, and even more so back in '67, like with this movie,
mhm,
there's like a bias towards, what's it called? Like, what am I trying to say? A bias towards like, just like, if you haven't heard of it, it must be good,
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah,
Like, if
yeah,
it didn't have if it had a killer opening, that's probably not a good movie.
yeah. The underground movies that people have never heard of, those are the only good ones.
Hmm.
Anything mainstream and blockbuster is
Yeah.
garbage.
Whereas, like, in the '90s, and maybe because the big popcorn movies had more things to say,
Mhm,
but, like, I can't even think of the last time an Oscar was won for Best Picture that was also, like, a top 10 movie of the year gross-wise.
mm.
Like, Anora last year, ugh, I mean, it's like a
Uh,
just a more depressing, terrible version of Pretty Woman.
don't
Like,
don't even get me started on Return of the King. Why don't you go walk that back?
that's true. Did see, I said I couldn't think of it, but you thought of it, so 2003,
Yeah,
22
there you
years
go.
ago.
2003. Oh my god. I remember watching that as a kid thinking like, "Holy shit, this is incredible. It's winning everything."
Yeah, it was I
Mhm,
mean, that's another thing too this year, right? It's, One Battle After Another, it's the most nominated movie of all time,
hmm.
and I'm like, is it does it deserve that, like, over Titanic?
Yeah.
Like, or over, Return of the King, even though both of those movies were huge, right? And they
Mhm.
won everything. But I'm saying, like, it should be nominated in more things than
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because it's like it's really good by its own merit. It just but you're right. I don't know if it's like I feel like the awards make it seem like it's quite possibly the best movie ever made, ever committed to film. And I don't know if it's not that for me at least, but maybe for some. Who knows?
maybe I need more time with it,
Yeah,
to
you wanna
see. I do
swirl it
think
around a
I
little
do
bit.
th Yeah, I do think this year one battle after another, more so than, like, last year's Oscars or even the last since COVID, really.
Mm,
Like, I feel like this year, some of the movies that are nominated will be, like, movies you watch 25 years from now. Like, I think Sinners is gonna be around forever.
mhm,
I think One Battle After Another, I think, will be around forever.
mm,
I think, F1, of course, no, I haven't seen it yet. But I mean, like, Top Gun: Maverick is,
yeah,
like, I think in the same vein, right? So,
mhm, yeah,
anyways, hadn't
yeah,
talked to you about the Oscars, so I thought I'd throw it out there.
yeah. I'll be curious to see who wins. I mean, we'll have to talk more after all the awards are given out, but I mean, my money is definitely on one battle after another.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I wanted to go to Sinners, but I just feel like it's not gonna snag it.
yeah. Alright. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, talk to
So
me
real quick,
about
before we
Guess
get
Who's
too
Coming to
into it,
Dinner.
let's just talk podcast structure and give a real synopsis of the movie, even though I think this movie's plot's pretty simple.
Yeah.
If not, spoiler alert, but super well executed in my opinion. Um, but, so podcast structure, we'll have a quick chat about the movie, give our initial notes, then we'll go into our superlatives, and then once we're done, we'll rate whether we think this movie should be a classic. From a plot synopsis perspective, this movie is about a couple played by Tracy Spencer and Katharine Hepburn, um, and their daughter, who went on vacation to Hawaii, comes back with a fiance, played by Sidney Poitier. There's obviously it's 1967. It's pre, Civil Rights Act, and so they're a mixed race couple. There's a lot of opinions about that. The family is inherently a liberal family, so they actually are. They're coming to terms with something that they thought they had already come to terms with, which I think is very interesting.
Mm.
Um, there's some communication that has to go over the phone and go over between each other that kinda gets twisted and, hijinks ensue several times, and ultimately, they end up having a dinner with, uh, Sidney Poitier's family and, the Draytons, who are, Katharine Hepburn and Spacey Trenchard and their daughter, and it all culminates, because Sidney Poitier is a doctor and he's about to go out of town, and he wants to get the family's blessing for their wedding before, within 24 hours, basically before he goes out of town. So culminates in this big scene of everyone coming to terms with what's going on.
Mm.
That
Yeah,
was that
perfect.
was perfect. I think that was pretty poorly executed on my end, but that's okay.
No, I thought it was really yeah, I thought it was really good. It's such an interesting movie. I think you said you've seen this before, right?
Yes, this is my second time for this one as well.
No.
So The no, actually, I told you our last episode that there was, like, 2 movies that, like, I watched them, and they made me realize I wanted to watch older movies. First one was Casablanca. I didn't say what the second one was, but the second one was Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Because I
Mhm,
thought it was incredible. I was like, "This movie's great." Like, it's so insightful, and then the way the characters act with each other, even though, like, the taboo, quote unquote taboo nature, right? It definitely has different context today. I think racial marriage is not like what it was in 67.
mhm.
I wish it was even less like what it was in 67 today. But um like for me it's just not a taboo thing at all.
Yeah.
um really risky of me to say, but I'm going to go out there and on a limb. But it's
Yeah.
not taboo to me at all, right? It's like th- uh But, but the way the characters are so respectful during the process, like, there's no way today you're writing this script and they keep the characters acting. In fact, they've remade this movie several times,
Mhm,
and the characters get more outlandish as it goes, right? And I
mhm,
think this version, I just loved how respectful, even though they're uncomfortable, even though they're grappling with feelings, they're listening to each other.
mhm.
Hell, my family doesn't listen to each other,
Mhm.
right? They're actually listening to each other. They're talking things out. They're calm. Like, I don't know, it's great.
Yeah, yeah. No, like, this was my first time seeing it. I'd never even heard of it before, but you saying that, you're exactly right. This movie has been remade multiple times throughout the years, right?
Yeah.
And, um, but I loved it. I thought same thing. It was an incredible movie. I thought it was such an interesting conundrum because, like you said, nail on the head, I thought it was very interesting that Joey's family, which I think objectively Joey's family plays the majority of the focus of the movie, and
Yeah.
then John's family comes in towards the end, but for the
Mhm.
most part, it's around Joey's family, who are white. Um, but I thought it was really interesting that, like you said, her family is liberal and they have always preached, like, you don't see color, right? But when they are faced with this, like, and it's impacting them directly, it challenges them. Like, like, do you practice what you preach, right? And it kind of shakes them. And I think that was such an interesting way to do it as opposed to, a family who is not that
Yeah,
mindset.
like
And
yeah,
yeah.
some clan Southern families like, "Oh, my daughter's bringing home what?"
Yeah.
They're actually like, "We're San Francisco liberals," right? Like
Yeah, very well
yeah,
off and, all the things, and yeah, I mean, like I said, I wish it was not I I think it's still very much a relevant topic today. I wish it
yeah.
wasn't, but it is, and, maybe we feel that a little bit more because we are in the South, we're in the Bible Belt and all the things, but, like, I do think interracial relationships are much more widely acceptable today,
Oh, of course,
obviously,
yeah.
as opposed to 1967, but I feel like that yeah, this kind of movie coming out back then is it's nothing short of a miracle and a testament that, like, good for y'all for making this kind of movie back in a time when that was not on the plate for so many people.
Did you
Um,
did you read about, like, how the writer got this movie I think is written William Rose was the writer, how he
yeah,
got the movie to go to production?
I think maybe, but refresh my memory.
So he did not pitch it as, like, a racial movie. He pitched
Mm,
it as, like, a couple come back from vacation and they, or elope or, like, rush into a marriage and hijinks, right? Like, that's how he
mm,
pitched it. He, like, brought up nothing about the racial component. He had gotten Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, and Katharine Hepburn all on board before they even had a script written.
mhm,
So, like, he knew what he wanted. He knew the cast loved the idea, but they had to, like, get it through the Hollywood production machine, and they were able to, like, basically mislead their way into, like, getting the movie started.
yeah. It is I mean, good on him for doing it. It's crazy that that was the route they had to take because otherwise you're like you say, they probably would have squashed it before it even got past, like, the first pit stop, right? But, yeah, I feel like it was an incredible movie, and it's also an incredibly important movie
Mhm.
that, still, like I say, I feel like is unfortunately very relevant for today. But, yeah, I mean, I really also enjoyed, like you said, like, the respectable nature of everything. I feel like we could sit here and talk about John's character and how respectful he is throughout the entire movie for 5 hours. He's incredible, all of the little details, but everything about this movie, it was just I loved it from
Wait,
start to
by John, you
finish.
mean John Prentice, Doctor Prentice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
No, that's another thing too, right? When they wrote him, like, they wanted the point of the movie is to like the Draytons, is to challenge your, like, preconceived notions of acceptability or whatever, right? And
mhm,
so they wrote John's character to be, like, so incredible, like, such a flawless man, so that the only thing that's the barrier to their like, the like, the approval of this marriage is the fact that he is black, which I think is also very interesting. I think
yeah,
it's often put forward as a criticism sometimes, I think, on the film 'cause he's
mhm,
so perfect.
mhm.
But again, I think it has that perfectness has, like, purpose,
Yeah, yeah.
and I don't it did not bother me whatsoever, like, I loved Doctor Prentice.
He was fantastic. I love
Yeah.
the scene where I mean, we'll get into all the scenes later, but, like,
Mhm.
talking about how perfect he is when Joey's dad tries to, like, dig up dirt on him, and they kinda
Yeah.
he comes back and they're like, "Oh my god, he really is like, he's exactly who he says he is. He's this awesome person," and he's almost, like, deflated because he's like, "I can't find anything wrong with him. He's perfect."
I love Spencer Tracy in this movie.
Yeah.
We'll get into best characters, but this is the only Spencer Tracy movie I've seen, and, like, him and Katharine Hepburn had been in 10 movies or tens of tens of movies together, and they're actually a real life couple too.
Mhm.
So I think they never married, but they were partners for, like, 20 something years until Spencer Tracy's death, which is also kinda like a big over like, a thing that looms over this movie is because he dies a couple weeks after the movie is done,
Yeah.
filming.
Yeah,
So he was dying during this movie.
I was reading, like, they even had to like, he only shot for, like, half days because like, he
Mhm.
would have to go on rest, but then, yeah, he died 2 weeks after they finished filming.
And and, like, Katharine Hepburn was driving him back and forth and taking
Mhm.
care of him the whole time, and that was, like, one of
Mhm.
her criteria for doing the movie was that he had to be in it, but they couldn't get the movie insured because
Yeah.
he was in it, so then the director and Katharine Hepburn put up their salaries
Mhm.
basically as insurance.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, all of it is very interesting, very cool. He
Mhm.
is so great in it. I wanna go back and watch more Spencer Tracy movies and Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn movies,
All I
just
could
to see
think
what they were like.
I'd never seen him before in anything, which again, I feel like that's really terrible and probably blasphemous for cinephiles out there,
I
but
mean, it's the only thing I've
all
ever seen him in.
all I could think about was the old man from Up, the Disney movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If the old man from Up is not based off of him, I don't know, that's the world's biggest coincidence. I mean, they're spitting images of each other.
Yeah, because I was, like, looking, like, the movies that he's known for are, like, on IMDb comes up with, like, 4 or 5 movies that they're known for.
Mhm.
Judgment at Nuremberg, which I feel like I have heard of, but meh.
Never
Maybe.
never heard of it.
There's a lot of Nuremberg movies out there, and then they have this movie, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and
Mhm.
then they have Bad Day at Black Rock, no idea, and then they have Inherent or never mind. I'm not gonna read it, don't know the word. So,
No, just say it, we'll cut it if you don't get
it
it right.
says I think it's Inherit the Wind, but that sounds like a weird name, so I'm like, I'm just second guessing myself now.
Mhm.
But anyways, I don't know. We've done 2 things so far in this podcast. We've established that we do not know who Spencer Tracy is, and that I'm pretty stupid.
Ugh.
Anyways, so any other initial thoughts?
No, 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 that was short summary. I loved it.
Yeah. The one thing, which I don't know if this is a nitpick, so maybe I'm stepping on nitpicks. He's 37, and I think in real life, Sidney Poitier was 40,
Mhm.
and the daughter is 23.
Mhm.
Like, why?
It's a big age gap, but I
Yeah,
mean,
I
like,
to
did they d
what to what end?
was
Like,
it
why write it that way?
yeah, I didn't understand that either, and I don't know, maybe to give John's character, like, some more maturity because they talked a lot about how he was married before he had was it a daughter or he had a child, but they both passed away tragically.
Mhm.
I feel like I don't know, it makes his character seem more mature that he's gone through all this tragedy and he's an established doctor. I feel like if he was also like 23, 25, you'd be like, you're a
Well,
kid. And I don't know.
I mean, I feel like the actress who plays the 23-year-old Joey, and I was not familiar with her, Catherine, like, Houghton, I think is or Ho I don't know.
Yeah.
Houghton?
Hmm.
Houghton? I don't know. She, sh like, I feel like you could say she's 30 years old, and you can say that
Mm.
he's 37, and then the age gap makes more sense, right? I feel like you're committed to the actors.
No.
So you could age her up. I think also having a 30-year-old daughter for Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy in this movie seems reasonable.
Yeah, they're really old in this movie.
Yeah, they feel, or at least they feel old, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how old they were when the
Mm.
movie came out. Let's see, 67. We'll use editing to make me look like I can do this really fast. So she's born in 1907, Katharine Hepburn. So 67, she's 60. So
Yeah.
she could easily have a 30-year-old or
Yeah.
35-year-old,
Hmm.
like,
That would actually be a very late pregnancy.
yeah.
She would have been 37, like you say, when she
Mhm.
got pregnant with Joey. But I mean, like Joey's character, she acts like a child throughout this movie. She's very childlike in a sense, which in a way didn't make it creepy, but kind of like there was a very stark contrast
Mhm.
from John's very mature character to Joey's very immature character.
No, she seems like a girl coming back from college being like, "I met a boy and it's the greatest, mama,"
Yeah,
and they're, doing a scrapbook at the sorority house, like, that's how she feels.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Apparently, there was a scene where she had more agency and gives an opinion about the
Mm,
racial element, the racial quality of this movie,
mhm,
and, it was cut for some reason from the movie.
hmm,
And that's, like, one thing I think, uh, Katharine Hepburn said that was disappointing about the film, was that they cut
that's
her scene because
yeah,
it's her the actress who plays her daughter is her niece, I think, in real life.
mm.
So it's like a relative of hers.
It would've been really nice to see that because I think I have it under nitpicks. Yes, it's under hot takes and nitpicks, but just her character in so many of the scenes and in
We'll get to
specific.
her when we get to worst
Yeah.
characters, don't worry. It's
You
on
got
my
her.
list.
You got her
Roasted.
on the worst characters. Well, walk us through our categories here.
Okay. All right. Let's jump in. So we got first up, best scene. Then we have best character, worst character. We'll catch up with you, Joey, when we get there. Age the best, age the worst. What are they talking about? And then we'll go into should this or what would a sequel look like? What would happen the next day? And then finally, our favorite topic: hot takes and nitpicks.
Mm,
So let's start off with best scene. You want to throw I figured we could throw a couple scenes out there, talk
yeah.
about them, and then we'll decide on one at the end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's so many. Like, it really was. It was hard to kinda drill it down, but I've got 3. My first one,
Okay.
I feel like it's such a strong contender when Joey's mom walks Hillary or wait, hang on. Yeah, Hillary. When Joey's mom walks Hillary out to her car when she comes up to their house to be racist, walks her out to her car, and then fires her on the spot for being such a butthole. The just everything about that scene was it was chef's kiss.
No,
It was
God,
perfect.
I fucking love Katharine Hepburn. She is so great. This is our second movie with her, and, like, we've only done, like, 6 movies on this podcast. I'm like, "We gotta do another Katharine Hepburn movie." She is so great. Like, honestly, the more I watch of her, I'm like, favorite actress of all time, like, one of my favorite actresses of all time, and that scene when she's, like, telling her what to do to, like, "Go take the money out, go talk to you, and then, and then leave, forever
Yeah,
leave,"
yeah.
It's so great.
It's
Her
perfect.
accent is out there, it's so bizarre, and it's
Uh,
amazing.
it's so perfect because I feel like her when she first meets John, the intensity of that scene made me wanna melt into my couch because everything felt so awkward, and then you see her character. I don't know if she has, like, a complete, like, tonal shift, like, if she was not on board with it or whatever, but or she could have just been pure flabbergasted at seeing John and not expecting it, but she goes into a point where she is completely on their side,
Yeah.
and it's, like, after that and she has this moment with Hillary that was just
No, it's a
yeah,
great scene.
it
It's
is
on
one of
my
my
list. I
favorites.
starred it next to my list too, it's so great.
Yeah,
The,
yeah, perfect.
uh, I think what it is because like, I don't think it's tonal shift. I think it's just, like, the movie is about for them, it's about challenging what they've already believe, and
Mhm.
then them coming to terms with it, and I feel like it's not a tonal shift for her. It's like she just has to digest it first.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
takes time, and then that's what I love about their characters is they don't go off the handle immediately. They're
mhm,
taken back, they're thinking things over, but they digest it, and
mhm.
then some people get there faster than others, but they
Yeah,
digest it, right? And she does it quickly, and she's, like, on board immediately.
yeah,
Speaking of that, that's my one of my best scenes is the introduction of Katharine Hepburn to and I'm cheating here a little bit, but the introduction of Katharine Hepburn to Sidney Poitier, right, to Dr. Prentice, and her being taken aback, and then, Spencer Tracy coming in, and he's like, doesn't realize what's going on at first, and then he
yeah,
comes back, he's like, I think he's like, "What the hell is going on here?"
yeah.
So it's really kinda more 2 scenes or 2 full pieces, but I just love, like when the parents are meeting him for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
What you got? What else you got? You got another scene?
Um, okay, so, like, on the flip side of that, yeah, talking about Spencer, Joey's dad, the it's less of a singular scene and more of a collection of any scene where things go wrong for him because it's so funny. Like, okay, his character, like, on the like, in relation to Joey's mom, Katharine Hepburn, where it seemed like, she was maybe shocked or surprised at the beginning, but she's on board with it. His character from the get-go, very awkward. He starts to kind of come around. Like, when they're first talking about it and he has these conversations with John and he's, trying to dig up dirt on him and all these things, he comes around. And then there's this weird moment where it's right after Katharine Hepburn tells him that John's parents are coming to dinner, and it's like he flips. And from that moment on, it's like that was the last straw that broke the camel's back, and all the progress that his character had made was just wiped off the board, and he was against it. And from that point on, so many things go wrong for him, and it's so funny because it's just so funny to watch because he plays a really good butthole, and I mean, like, I don't know, they're little things, but, yeah, like like the whole ice cream scene, he
The
gets in
ice
the
cream
car
scene, I love it.
wreck.
One of my favorite scenes. Yep.
Yeah, like,
The
he gets in the car wreck, and then he gets told off, he gets put in his place. He puts his shaving cream brush into his drink by accident.
mm,
He knocks his clothes drawer out in his room, like,
mhm.
all of these scenes, and he gets so upset by them, and it's like, I don't know, it's the perfect karma for somebody. He finally gets over it. He gets over himself, he makes peace with it, all the things, but in those scenes during that middle half of the movie, it just feels like, yeah, this is what you get for being a turd.
Well, okay, but let's talk about that. Maybe let's pause with best scene here for 5 seconds, and I don't know, maybe you wanna talk about it later, but, like, is Matt Drayton, Spencer Tracy, being reasonable in his
Mhm,
reservations about this? I'm not talking about the racial thing, right? Like, I think, again, they made Dr. Prentice so perfect that you couldn't be upset that your daughter was marrying, like, the altruistic, amazing doctor, but,
mhm.
like, they met 10 days ago. They're giving them 24 hours, not even 24 hours because, like, they have to sleep, they gotta go to bed, they have to leave on a plane. It's like 12 hours to meet this guy, give their daughter give their blessing for the marriage, and then send him off, and even the most perfect guy on the planet, would you be like, "Yeah, sure, oh, absolutely, but no reservations, I love it, it's great." Like, I
Oh,
don't even
yeah.
know you, we've had 6 conversations, and
Yeah. You're crazy. If my daughter came up and said, "Hey, I've known this dude for 3 hours," I'm in. I'm all on board. No, you're exactly
It
right.
depends. If
It's
your daughter is marrying my son, that's okay. It's fine.
no, we need to talk about
I need good in-laws. That's what I want.
we
That's my main goal in life.
you're you're not getting any kind of dowry. You're getting a Zelda poster or something for her dowry.
Hey, that's
No,
okay with me. Look, the good in-laws is enough of a dowry for me.
yeah. It's no, you're exactly right. It is an unfair situation for Joey's parents, and it is a slight nitpick with that movie because John's pressure on them, saying that, like, "You guys have y'all have less than 24 hours." I know that's John and Joey, but then John adds in that extra layer of, "If you guys do not approve, I walk."
Yeah.
That
I think he
feels
kinda regrets it later too. He's like, "Well, maybe
he
I shouldn't
does.
have given."
Yeah, he does. It is truly unfair, and her parents do call it out, and Spencer is like, "Yeah, like, why is this, fair for them to put us in this situation, and we have to make a decision, like, I need more time than that." Absolutely right, of course. I think where I come from is, like, they talk so much about practice what you preach, and, like, this is what we instilled in Joey, this is how we raised her. How can we not, follow through with that? And now we say, well, we taught you that way, but we're not going to live that way, and he starts to see that and he starts to make peace with that. And I don't know if it was just manufactured drama, but when he flips and like I said, when he makes that progress and then it all just kind of like washes away, it just felt like I don't know, not like too much of a nitpick with the movie, but it made those scenes where all the things went bad for him, it made
Mhm.
them feel good for me, and that's why I like seeing him get so frustrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, any of those, they were just so fun, but also too, him as an actor, watching him get frustrated on, like, these little things they were just really funny
No,
'cause he
it's great, right? Like, 'cause I
yeah,
do think there's a little bit of, like, an understandable element. The whole, like, interracial thing, right, I don't get, but, like, the rushing, the pressure, like, his kinda breakdown and frustration, it's like, it's a little bit understandable, at least to me.
mhm,
And then, like, to see his frustration, like, manifest and, like, just him kinda, like, bumbling through the day and, like, getting like, fluxed and mad and,
mhm,
can't handle it and kinda breaking down as he goes until he finally, like, has his breaking point and, like, he hears something that finally, like, corrects all the. Because I don't think his reservations, like, again, like, it's not so much that Dr. Prentice is a bad guy or that his daughter, like, is not ready to be married or whatever.
mhm,
It's his reservations are, you just met,
yeah,
and, like, in this world, in 1967 world, you guys are setting yourselves up for a much more challenging life
mhm,
than, and are you ready for that, to make that decision so quickly? I think they're
yeah,
all reasonable thoughts to have, especially in 1967. I think
sure,
the
yeah,
dad, Dr. Prentice's dad brings it up that, like, it's
mhm,
illegal in 16 to 17 states what they're doing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so, like, it's a different world from today
mhm,
in a lot of ways, and but, like, I don't think Spencer Tracy's character is, like, completely unreasonable,
no,
in which,
definitely not,
and you're cheering because you, as an audience, are cheering for Joey and Dr. Prentice, and so, therefore, like, to your point, when stuff's falling apart for Spencer for Spencer Tracy's character, it's kinda fun, right?
yeah, it's really
So,
fun.
yeah,
Yeah, no, yeah, like you say, as an audience member, like, we're rooting for them to succeed, like,
yeah.
we this is not an average, normal, everyday life situation, and
Mhm.
but, of course, yeah, telling your parents, "You have 24 hours to make up your mind," and, like, if you don't say, "Yes, I'm gone," that is not reasonable
Yeah.
whatsoever, but it's like they had to I don't know, they had to up the stakes for some reason for this movie, but,
Yeah, we'll get to nitpicks,
yeah,
but, well,
you
let's
know?
talk, alright, you got any more? I know you said you had 3 scenes.
The last one, this was a tough one because there were 2, but I had to make a decision. Sec My runner-up on it was the scene that John has with his dad, and he has the
Mhm.
entire conversation about, like, "Your generation is different from my generation, and you
Yeah.
don't know who I am," right? Like, that whole scene, God, I felt that in my bones, but I think I really, really this might be my favorite scene. It's when the moms talk on the terrace, just them 2, Katharine Hepburn and I can't remember what, John's mom's name was, but when they talk on the
I think
terrace and
she's listed as Mrs. Prentice.
that's
So
it, she didn't even have a first name. But they find common ground in the way that they approve of the marriage in it when their husbands don't, because they see 1, they love their kids so much, and they want their kids to be happy, and they want them to succeed, but their husbands don't feel the same way, and, John's mom has this whole I can't remember what exactly she says. She has this whole speech to Spencer about, like, passion, and you
Oh,
remember
yeah,
what
that,
you
like,
know
old men
b
forget about love and
yeah,
for
but,
s
like, that scene of the 2 moms on the terrace, it's for so much of the movie, because again, so much of it is focused on Joey's family, and it felt like Joey's mom was kind of by herself in approving the marriage because her dad was not fully on board,
Mhm.
right? And God, don't even bring me to Tilly. We'll get to Tilly. Like, Joey's mom was by herself in that corner fighting the fight alone for so much of the movie, and it was so fun and so great to see her have an ally on that
Yeah.
like, come to common ground with John's mom. But yeah, I don't know. That was a tough one because that other like I said, that other scene with John and his dad was it was so good.
Yeah, they're both great scenes. I think, yeah, the moment where like, man, this might get me canceled, so I'm just gonna, but we'll see, we'll see. But like, I think this that when John says like, you look at yourself as a black man, like I look at myself as a man,
Mm,
right? And I remember too, Michael Jordan said something similar because they were like, well, like, what does it mean to be like, you know, a black athlete, and admired, like a role model. And he's like, I don't want to be the best black athlete. I want to be the best athlete. I
mhm.
want to be the best basketball player of all time. And like, I think today, maybe this is just my bias towards politics because I like half the podcasts I listen to are political podcasts. It's either entertainment or politics. And, like, we put politics especially put so much emphasis on, like, identity that I really like the idea, like, if you wanna get past which is not if we want society to get past identity, identity has to stop things have to stop being defined by identity,
Yeah.
which is and for me, that's what I love about this movie. They said it in '67, like, it's about I'm a man,
Mm,
not just my race is not my identity. You
mhm,
know? And that's, like, easy for a white guy to say, right? Like,
mm.
obviously, there is a lot in this world that is still defined by identity, and there's a lot of people that put a lot of prejudice still into this world. So I think you still have to tackle and fight and, try to move society past those prejudice. So it has its place, it has its purpose, but I think, like, in this ideal world that we're all trying or I'm trying to get to, right? Like, you're just a man, and I love that
Yeah.
scene for
Yeah.
that
No,
sentiment.
it's like I said, there's so many I feel like it's really hard to drill it down into, like, even a handful of your favorite scenes because the whole damn movie is so good, but,
Yeah.
yeah, that scene with John and his dad on so many different levels, it's just really, really good, and so many messages from, like, what you're just talking about to generational stuff between
Yeah.
like, I can't remember how he says it between his dad, but just like, "That's your generation. My generation is," like, it's still relevant today.
Mhm.
But yeah, those are mine. What were yours?
I think the only one 'cause, to me, the ice cream scene, just when he's talking with the waitress, right, and he's like, "I want the one that I had last time," and she's like, "I don't know what that is." It just I've been in those I've been in the car in those conversations with people, with my grandparents or to my parents to a lesser degree, but definitely with my
Mm,
grandparents, and I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh my god, jeez." You know? She doesn't know what ice cream you had. She probably didn't even work here. But,
Yeah.
and then I just loved it. But then I have to throw out there too, the final scene with Spencer Tracy's kinda monologue where
Mm,
he's, like, talking about, how he's accepting it and that, like, the one problem he had with what everyone was saying was that, like, he didn't remember what it was like to fall in love or be in love or be romantic.
mm,
And, like, Katharine Hepburn is crying, and it's so that scene is real tears from her, because she
yeah,
knew as she was watching it was, like, his last scene that she would ever film with him,
yeah.
and I don't know. It just the last scene I think is also a really great, climactic it's even though it's a speech, right?
Mm,
Like, the drama is almost like an action movie leading up to that. There's so much tension built, and then he gives the speech, and it's kinda like the blue laser beams in the sky and, Captain America's punching Thanos, right? It has like a an intensity to it that, like, an action movie has almost,
yeah.
and it's so great.
Yeah. No, it's that
Uh,
last scene, yeah, I after finding out 'cause I never do my, like, Wikipedia lookups until after I watch
Same,
the movie,
same.
and so I had no idea watching this movie that he was actively dying in real life, and,
Mm.
like, seeing that on I think it was the Wikipedia page that was the final scene that he filmed, and it just tore her up and all the things, I was like, "Oh my holy shit, yeah." That
Yeah, to this day, Katharine Hepburn has never seen the movie, or I guess she
yeah,
died, but before
yeah.
her death, she never saw the movie the rest of her life after she made it because she just could not bear to watch,
Mhm.
him,
Yeah, I
and
can
just
only imagine. Like, you're Yeah, he was phenomenal throughout the movie. I think that's one of the really cool things about watching these older movies that I've never seen before is being introduced into an entire generation of actors and actresses that are so awesome, that
Yeah.
I had no idea even existed before.
Yeah.
He was wonderful.
Yeah, we'll get to, like, I know we have talked about in the past White Christmas, but we'll get to Danny Kaye because I fucking love Danny Kaye. So, he's another one that's, like, of those 50s, 60s actors that I'm like, "God, he's so good."
Yeah,
Alright, I got one honorable mention, not
yeah.
for best scene, but for worst scene.
Oh.
So we didn't have never done this before, but the dancing delivery driver guy who picks up, like, the girl, the other,
Yeah.
like, house worker, like, what is
I
happening? That's so
I
60s, and
I
then
thought the
just
same thing. I was like, "What is going on here?"
I'm like, "Why are you dancing?" Uh, just
And
the worst scene.
it's so random. Like, even her character, I thought that that little side character was gonna do something more. Cause like, when John first gets to the house, he sees her and
Yeah,
he kinda,
kinda
like,
pervs on her a
has
little bit.
a little bit, and then he asks, Joey a question, and, I don't know, it seemed like they were setting her to be up in the middle of some kind of, like, triangle drama, and then she leaves with the delivery boy, and, like, that's it, they're gone, and
Yeah,
like,
they
what is
dance
that?
out they dance away from the potential in the film, you know?
It's so bizarre. Like, what an interesting scene to keep in that movie.
So that's my nomination for worst scene.
That you win. I think that takes it for sure.
So what final judgment, what do you think is the best scene in the movie?
I don't know. I mean, I think you might have flipped me on just the whole scene with John and his dad.
'Kay.
'Cause I mean, that was up there on him, but I was like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to drill down, but that one, I feel like there are so many different levels to that scene, which is impressive 'cause, I can't even really think of other examples in movies that I've seen that do that, that accomplish that same thing
Mhm.
where it tackles so many different topics in such a way that it kinda makes your head spin.
Yeah. I think for me, it's cliché, but I do think the Spencer Tracy speech at the end of the movie, for me. I think
Mhm.
just the context of knowing it's, like, his last scene, Katharine Hepburn is crying not only because the movie calls for it, but because she's, like, watching her partner die, and
Mm.
he pulls it off so well, and it hits a lot of the same themes that you're talking about too. I don't know. For me, it was like, I think just the whole and story around it for me made it even
Mhm.
better, learning about it
Yeah,
later, so.
for sure. Yeah.
Alright, you wanna get to best character?
Yeah, why don't you kick it off?
I mean, I'll just start out. I think number 1 for me, Tilly.
Get the fuck out of
So
here.
funny.
God. I have I have, like, a burn book on Tilly in my notes, like, all of
You
the
know,
grievances.
you could interpret best character as, like, are they doing what they're supposed to be doing? I think she's very effective at
She's
what she's doing.
she is
I actually did write her down in best character because I think I was like, she's so effective at what she is trying to do, and she is
yeah.
pretty funny when even
Oh,
though she is just you're like, "What is happening?"
she makes my worst character list, we'll talk about her, not because she's the weakest link, the worst
Yeah,
actress or, purely because she is a villain. Tilly is
yeah.
a villain with a capital V. Get the fuck out of here. Best character, Tilly.
No. For me, I'll put Spencer Tracy, Matt
Yeah.
Drayton as my, like, first nominee.
Mhm.
I just love, like, we've talked about him a ton because I feel like he honestly, like, him being, like, almost the main antagonist in the movie because he is the one that's, like, the most, um has the most reservations about this. It's like he's weird because he's like the hero of the movie and the villain of the movie, right? Because, like, everyone is trying to work him into acceptance.
Mhm.
But I just think the whole time he was great. We've talked about him a
Yeah.
lot, but he was
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. He was awesome. I obviously Katharine Hepburn, she's really
Yep.
good. I personally really love John. I think I fell in love with John during this
Yeah.
movie. Um, his
You wanna
his
marry John?
character yeah, sign
Like,
me
well,
up. Get
it's like,
get Joey out of here.
let's go to I'm like, "Honolulu, baby, let's go."
Could you could you imagine having this man sweep you off your feet and then say, "Hey, we're gonna go get married in Geneva"? Get to are you yeah,
Oh, yeah,
alright, let's
no.
go.
Made me feel
Um,
super inadequate, I agree.
I mean, like, it's almost not fair because his character is written in a way that, like you say, he's meant to be perfect, almost
Yeah.
flawless, right? And but I feel like what he brought to it, what Sydney brought to it, he was charming, he was charismatic, he was
Vulnerable
just
too.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he made the character come alive, and he made John just an outstanding person, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed him, but yeah, I mean, those 3, that's I mean, that's like a powerhouse right there.
You're saying Spencer Spacey, or let's say Matt Dran, John Prentice, and Tilly, got it, okay.
And Tilly, yeah, get the
No,
fuck out of here with
Katherine
Tilly.
Hepburn, yeah, because Katherine Hepburn, I think, has to be a nominee too. She's so great in the
Yeah,
movie too. I mean, she's
yeah,
just like, she's just wonderful, right?
yeah.
Um, I also wanted to nominate Monsignor Ryan. I loved him
Yeah, he's great.
when he's
Mhm.
just giving him shit the whole
Yeah,
time. I loved it.
yeah. I love it because like, so I think when you see so many characters from, like, Joey's world are
Mhm.
so visibly shocked and stunned when they come to find out, like, "Oh, you 2 are together, and you wanna get married." When Monsignor Ryan comes in, he doesn't even bat an eye, and
No,
that was really fun to see. Right
no.
from the get-go, he's down with it. He's all about it.
He's just calling everyone on their shit, and I love it, yeah. It's great. Especially Matt Trade. So I mean, so those are my nominees. You got any more nominees for it?
No.
What's your verdict?
Eh. I mean, I'll go with John. I mean, he was my personal favorite, but I think
Yeah.
again, it's tough. There's so many good ones. It's hard to pick a
Yeah.
favorite or best
I think
character,
I
but
think Matt Drayton, Spencer Tracy's mine, but,
mhm,
um, but I could be convinced of John, Dr. Prentice. I could be convinced of Katherine Hepburn, Christina Drayton,
mhm,
like, all 3 of them are at top of their game, killing it,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Alright. Let's, so we got worst character, yep, sorry.
yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to Tilly. Okay, so the villain of the movie, Tilly. You know, a lot of people were very hesitant of John. They were very subtle. Tilly was outright hostile towards John. So let's just go ahead and get like a running tally here because I kept my notes pretty hard on Tilly.
Mhm.
The lunch scene, she throws it's a cup or a plate. She throws it at him pretty much. Like, here you go. Here's your plate. She immediately goes and rats to Joey's dad as soon as he gets home, which is just bitch move, honestly. Um, she she says she says a line. I don't know who she says it to, if it's to Joey's dad or Joey's mom, but she says civil rights is one thing, but this is something else. Whoa. Uh, she legitimately freaks out and like loses her mind when she hears that John's parents are coming to dinner. And when John is changing, she barges in his room, calls him boy, and accuses him of foul play. Like, I think the only other time that I've seen this level of hate come from like another character of color is from Django,
Yeah,
with
Sam Jackson.
yes, with
Yeah.
Sam Jackson's character to Jamie Foxx. It's almost like they wrote Sam Jackson's character after Tilly because it's like downright hostile. It really
Yeah.
is. Tilly, but to your point, I think I could probably be swayed that she could be up there for best character because she plays it so well.
Yeah.
It is
And
so
she's kind of funny
believable.
with it, even if she is being just,
Yeah,
like,
it's
so
kind
so small-minded maybe is a better term.
it's kind of like it's intentionally supposed to be some of the more lighthearted scenes because they
Mhm.
really are. They're borderline comical. Um, but she plays such a good butthole throughout the every time she would come on scene, I would get angry. Like, here's Tilly. Here's what the fuck you gonna do this time, Tilly?
Yeah, I think in the same vein, I think one of my nominees was Hillary too,
Mm,
right? 'Cause
mhm.
she's just that and that piece of artwork, I think you nominate that as its own worst character. I thought about, like, changing my background and having it in the background. Like, what is this paper mache looking piece of shit? But
What yeah, what did she call it again? Like an interactive art piece or
I don't
some
know.
stupid
She's, like, supposed to like it. I'm like, "Ah, Hillary, not only are you bigoted, but you also have terrible taste in art as an art, and working in a art collections, gallery." Like,
Yeah.
God.
She was terrible. She drove all the way up there to be a hater and a racist. That takes a lot of hate in your body to go drive up there.
But it was
Ooh.
great to, just see Katharine Hepburn fire
Oh,
her, and,
yeah.
it was awesome, a great scene.
Yeah.
Then I think it's time. We gotta talk about Joey. Like, to me, when you're watching the movie, you're like, one of these is not like the other, and it's,
Mm,
like, in caliber of acting,
that's
inability to act.
very fair. Very fair. Yeah. Joey's character is so I actually had this under, nitpicks, but I think it absolutely we can go ahead and discuss this here. I mean, probably it's probably a mixed bag of how her character is written, but also, like, just the general script, but definitely how she plays the character. Throughout the entire movie, John goes through the gauntlet. He deals with the prejudice. He deals with all of the hard conversations.
Mhm.
There's so much difficulty this man is put through. Meanwhile, Joey, in some scenes, quite literally just skips through, like, not missing a single happy beat. It's like she's completely oblivious to what's going on. Like, she has an idea, of course, but I think I actually laughed. It's towards the end when, John stands up to his dad. They are, like, almost to the point of, like, tears. And then the scene switches, and it's Joey literally dancing around in her room, talking about what she's going to pack,
Yeah, she got, like,
for
the multiple
Geneva.
hats on her head and everything.
Yes. You have, like, a father and son who are about to just strain their relationship past the point of mending, and Joey's upstairs,
It
literally dancing.
'Cause like, the part that's so weak about her character, which I think is, like, such a disservice to that one scene that was cut that we talked about,
Mm,
is it's 1967. So, like, regardless of how progressive you are and, like, how, for to use a modern term, but how woke you are, right, about all this, right? Like, you're not naive to it. She's almost naive to it. She's like, "I can't even imagine why this would be a thing to discuss and look at and talk about." And, it's like it's just a disservice to her character that they cut the scene where she actually does address the concerns
mhm.
and why she's okay with it and why she doesn't feel like it's a problem or whatever. I don't know what the scene's about.
Yeah.
But, like, she's almost just, like she's in her own little world where she's so if she comes off as so naive to what any concerns anyone would have about this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of not only is it, like, I would say the acting is meh,
Yeah.
and the dialogue that's given to her is meh, and
Yeah.
or at least the way she delivers it,
Mhm.
but, like, also, like, the character is just she's just there to serve a purpose as for Sydney to marry so that he can be in the movie and
Yeah.
have the thing, right? It's kinda like when we watched, the other Katharine Hepburn movie, right? The Philadelphia Story. Like, the guy she's marrying doesn't really matter who
Mhm.
he is. It's
Yeah.
just she needs to be marrying someone so that all the other characters can do their thing.
Mhm. Like, there was I think it was when John first gets Joey's parents by himself after he talks to them about the crazy, ultimatum of, "If you guys don't sign off on this, I'm out, peace."
Yeah,
Um,
right?
I think it's in that same scene, I could be wrong, but it's when he talks about, like, his first time like, he goes to Hawaii, and he talks about how he'd never met anybody like Joey before, and it almost kinda made you stop, like, "Really? Like, her? You never felt this way about anybody but her?"
Not
Because she's
your first wife? What about her?
Yeah, because she is so goofy and childish and immature, and like we talked about earlier, in a a lot of levels, it does feel kind of weird because his character is so mature
Mhm.
and painfully aware of what's going on around him and the world
That they live
revolving
in,
around
yeah,
them.
yeah.
And she is, even though, like, yeah, she talks about she understands and it's okay, blah, 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 the things, she truly doesn't seem like she has any clue. It's Joey. God. Yeah, I think, you know what? Joey, worst character. Let's let's roll it.
I
Tilly
just I think, like, from, like it hits the boxes across multiple things, right? Like, the character's not well written,
Yeah.
the dialogue is not well given, it's not well acted, so I feel like even though
Mhm.
Tilly, I feel like, is, like, a more antagonistic person, right?
Yeah.
Like, from, like but I think from just all the boxes, you gotta give it to
Pure
Joey.
pure weakest link,
Yeah,
Joey wins
yeah,
for sure.
weakest
Yeah.
link for sure. Alright, what's aged the best?
Okay. I feel like we've talked a lot about the core theme of this story. I think you could talk for days about the core theme of this story. I think the message overall is wonderful, applicable. I think it's aged wonderfully. But let's get into the meat and potatoes. The set, Chef's Kiss, their house.
Yes.
I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal because it's an actual set with, like, hand-painted backgrounds overlooking San Francisco and the
Yeah, it's
bay,
like the map
and
painting.
yeah, but it was so, and I don't know, maybe it was because I watched this movie just a few days after Casablanca
Mm,
and going from, black and white, obviously, into color and seeing this. I don't know. It sounds so crazy, but I know we've talked about it a lot in length in some of our other episodes. But like modern movies, there's so much going on with computer generated graphics and just bullshit. It's just like Skittles throwing up at you on the screen.
yeah,
And this, having like a static background that they spent the entirety of the movie in pretty much. One, it was really refreshing. Two, it was really pretty, and I feel like I really appreciated it more. And three, at nighttime, like, especially that scene that we talked about, the moms on the
yeah,
terrace,
yeah,
with it being at night and then they have lights in the background on the bridge, I was hands down, this is incredible. Like, the set piece of this movie, I feel like deserves to be its own character.
yeah.
I loved it.
No,
I love the set.
I was looking at his office. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty swanky office. Like, what can I take about it and try to make my office look like it? Because mine right now is a 3-foot bookshelf and one picture of a map. So, like, I'm like, so it's like, I got to do something more because this is a pretty cool office. I agree. Their house is great.
You know?
It's a great set. It's a great
But
location.
it's really important too, because I mean, yeah, the entirety of the movie takes place there almost exclusively,
Yeah, it's
and
almost like a play.
yeah, and
Yeah,
and so I think you have to have a really, really impressive set, and I think it just goes back to that time period where they did things, the hard way, and I think it pays off. It really does. It was just really, really pretty to look at, really fun.
for sure. I thought it was a great. I agree with you.
Mhm.
I had their clothing, like
Yeah,
1960s clothing.
yeah,
It's just like they look fancy as hell, you know? They're
yeah,
they're modern, they're hip, fancy. I mean,
it
modern for the '60s.
yeah.
But I
It's
do
really
like when they're getting off the airplane and she's like kind of in that like simple dress, but it's so '60s. They look
mhm,
so '60s when
yeah,
they're coming out. And we talked about that too in other episodes, right? Where they're getting off a plane and people are like dressed to the nine to go
mhm,
on an airplane ride. I was like,
yeah.
I just makes me long for, like I think both you and I we talk about this, like, every episode.
I
Like,
know.
everyone looks better than us today.
Yes.
Like, they
Look,
care more today than
like
they do
right
today.
now, us right now, I'm wearing a shitty hoodie, you're wearing a t-shirt. Even
Um,
talking about like,
my t-shirt says Benihana on it. That's how uncool I am.
Benny Hanna t-shirt. Yeah, but that's like, we're talking about Leo's new movie, right? And in that
Yeah.
entire movie, he looks like a bum. He's wearing a beanie and like
It's the
beat up
robe.
t-shirts. Yeah, of course, it makes it more believable, realistic, whatever. But it's just so fun to see these older movies where they're just dressed so nice and so
Yeah.
swanky. I appreciate it too.
But I think to me, like, you touched on it, right? The themes of this movie is what ages the best, I think. Like, that's the
Mm,
winner of this category. It's as important to watch today as it was in 1967, and hell, the fact that it was made in 1967, 2 years after the Civil Rights Act, like, a
Mhm.
year like, it's just incredible that it was made then, and the way
Yeah.
they talk about it look, we'll get to what age is the worst here because there's some terminology they use, but, uh but man, it's just such an important thing to think about and watch, and the way they make the argument too with these people who it's like not only challenging like I feel like today you're challenging bigots or whatever, right? That's like, yeah, okay, those people are the worst. We know that. But
Mhm.
this movie's challenging the people who think they're on the right side, who are trying to be progressive and trying to be liberal in thought and they're still challenging those people and it's so important, I think, of a
Yeah.
movie to see.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
All right. What's age the worst?
You you kick it off because
Oh
I
my god, my list is
I don't
long.
I only have 2, and they're very goofy. Because like with our last episode, I really struggled. I mean, we've talked a lot about some of the bigger issues, um, but, I don't know, I struggled to find a lot of things that I disliked about this movie.
Okay. Slurs that they use throughout the movie. The
Yeah.
way they talk about race is
Mhm.
definitely outdated and that has not aged well.
Yeah.
I think the 60 we talked about earlier, the 16 to 17 states that historically made it illegal to marry interracial marriage. I'm like, not going to call out any names, Alabama, but like Jesus, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like God. Um, I had what was it? Let me grab my other list here. The all right, well, you go. Let me find. I've lost my place. You go ahead.
Mm,
What do you
okay.
got?
Number 1 on my list, the ice cream scene. When Joey's dad goes to get ice cream and the waitress walks away, he checks her out up and down really hard, and it was very creepy. I mean, to the point where I was like, "Whoa, dude, why did you do that? Why did they leave this in the movie?" Unless it was planned. But, yeah, it was just one of those creepy old man, awkward looking at a young girl scene. I was like,
Yeah, that's
"Ugh."
the same way I feel about when Dr. Prentice checks out like the other housekeeper, and
Yeah.
and she's just like, I get it,
Yeah.
like she's Joey's just like playing it off, like handling
Yeah.
it well, but I'm like, ugh.
It's like a different time period where it's like, "Oh, boys will be boys. They're just gonna do that." But
Yeah,
it's very creepy.
yeah, for sure.
My other one that I had, which again was not anything major, but, uh, Joey's dad's bathrobe was borderline offensive. It was not red, it was hyper red, and it hurt my eyes when he was wearing it, which again, I think it made it a little bit sweeter when he threw his, like, shaving brush into his liquor cup, um, because that bathrobe, I was like, "Man, I'm happy they don't make these anymore."
The car accident scene when he hits him and they just like gives him money and leaves.
Oh god, yeah.
You're not calling the police, you're not gonna have an incident report. Also, he's like, I don't know, 30, $40. I put that in today's terms, $400. That's way more than $400 worth of damage. Maybe
Yeah,
not back then, but today,
yeah.
that's anything. You get a scratch in your car, minimum $1,000. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, easy.
no, I think that's really it. I mean, to me, like the movie's really well written, right? So I
Mhm.
think like we talked about the dancing scene. Jesus, like it's terrible too. It's the worst scene. Just ages terribly. You're like, God, what is happening here? But yeah, I think that's it. I mean, like, I think if you were making it today, you definitely have different language that you would use. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's a great. It's yeah, not too bad.
It stands the test of time, I think.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. All right, what are they talking about?
I only I only had 1. I could have definitely missed some stuff, but the only one that I did not really understand is when Tilly hears that John's parents are coming, and I couldn't really understand what she says, and I'm not like you, I don't watch with subtitles, but she said something like, "Holy rollers."
Yeah, I have
And
that Holy Rollers meeting.
yeah, I didn't understand what that was. I couldn't even look it up because I didn't know what she said, but all I heard was "Holy rollers meet or neat every minute" or something. I don't
Yeah.
never heard of that before.
That was actually what I had aged the worst. I'm like, what was the one thing I had written down I couldn't find? Tilly says, what, next Martin Luther King is coming? And, like,
Oh,
within a year of this movie being released, he was assassinated. And I'm like,
mm,
how does that seem like in the time being like, because movies back then, like, stayed in theater for, like, a year, they're like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it plays off as a joke, and I think with what happened to MLK, it was, yeah, kinda ages as
yeah,
a little less well.
yeah.
She calls, I can't remember who says this, but there's, like, she calls him having an American Eagle face. Does that make any sense to you? I think,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
An American Eagle face?
Yeah, that's what they I went and you know me, I love my subtitles on. So, I had my closed
Yeah.
caption on, I was like, "American Eagle face." I don't know what that means.
No, I've never heard of that.
And then the
Eh,
other one I had written down too is when Sidney Poitier calls his parents for the first time, and he lists off, like, a bunch of things to the operator to get him to connect to the phone. I'm like, "Is he calling collect? Is it
mhm.
because they have to, like, use a switchboard? Like, are they using switchboards in '67?" I have no idea. He was listing off, like, all the things that he, like, has to do to connect with his parents, and I was like, "I don't have any idea how that whole system operates."
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm like, "It's not just, like, you scroll up and you hit the person's name that's in your phone? Okay, well."
Call Zach.
Alright. Anything else from, What's Age the Worst?
No, I really didn't have much. Or WTF are they talking about?
Yeah, because
I
like,
didn't really have anything.
yeah. No, it wasn't too bad, but there was a few things, a few little, things here and there.
Mm, yeah.
Alright. What about a sequel? What would happen the next
Oh,
day?
oh my god. So excited about the sequel. We all go to Geneva. Hello.
Okay,
And
alright.
we have it would be so much fun to have the parents all there. Everybody gets to know each other better. We get to know each other personally. We get to learn each other's cultures, all while being in a European environment and romping around. How fun is that? While
See,
part while
you're so one thing I'm learning about you, you're an optimist with these sequels.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you wanna see they've gone through their hardships, and now we're gonna go have fun.
Yeah, but they're getting
So
married after 10 days. Like, let's really think
yeah.
about this. They're
Well,
gonna go
okay,
to
so that
Geneva, and he's gonna realize that she's this little 23-year-old, and he's 37 with a life and had kids and a doctor, and she's like, "Well, I wanna go party in the town." And he's like, "Ugh."
yeah. So that okay, so there we go. That's our inciting incident is they are going to start to learn more about each other through the wedding planning process.
Mhm.
Joey's gonna want some stupid shit because she's his little child and little girl, and he's gonna be like, "I don't have time for that." And then they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, are we right for each other?" And then maybe you have an outside force. Maybe you have Spencer flips and he starts playing the bad guy, like, "Yeah, yeah, you're not right for each other." Like,
Or
there's a
maybe
lot of opportunity there.
that's what Mr. Prentice, right? Dr. Prentice's dad does, right? Comes in and is like,
Yeah.
"Alright, I can still break this up. I still have time."
But I think for any kind of sequel that would have been I think that would have been really fun as you take it and you explore the actual wedding. That
Yeah.
would be next steps for sure.
And then, a year after they get married, they get divorced because, they don't know each other.
If they even make it to the altar, because hey, that's your big gambit.
They
Are
don't
they
know
actually gonna make it?
They don't know each other, okay? I'm just saying it. They don't know each other. They had a vacation relationship, right?
Mm.
Like, everyone's your best on vacation. Everything is fun on vacation,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, I think that's good.
Yeah.
What about, some nitpicks and
Okay.
hot
Well,
takes?
so my biggest one was our whole roundabout conversation of Joey and just Joey's general character and how she was just almost borderline aloof. But I had one really big one. And when I say big, it's goofy, but it was glaring to me. When they're at the restaurant with Joey's best friend,
Mhm.
uh, the scene opens up with a performer or a singer. She's supposed to be playing the piano. That was the worst
Like
attempt
pantomiming?
at trying to play the piano. It was almost like she was waving her arms. Oh, like, I've never seen anything like it, but I couldn't understand what she was doing because I thought, like, "What? I don't understand this," but, like, clearly, it's just a horrible person trying to act like she's playing the piano.
Oh, harsh, but yeah,
But
horrible piano acting. Got it, yeah.
yes, but that I've s immediately I don't think I've ran to my notes app faster on my phone. I paused the movie on Tubi and just to get that written down, but that was my biggest that was my biggest nitpick outside of Joey just being aloof
To
for the
to
majority of the
me,
movie.
my biggest nitpick is, like, the logistics of the day.
Mm,
'Cause they get there, they're coming from Hawaii, okay? So unless they're taking a red eye to get there, right? Like, they're not getting there, like, at the crack of dawn, right? They're getting there, like, midday at best. I mean, they're going from California to Hawaii, but still,
yeah.
it's like a 4 or 5-hour flight.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're at best, they're getting there, like, around lunchtime. Then, like, they go to all in one day, they go to the gallery first, then they go to the house, and then they, go to meet their friends, then they come back to the house, go back to the airport to pick up his parents, come back to the house and have dinner. I'm like, There's a lot happening in this day."
Mm.
Like, Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn are leaving too to go get ice cream. Like, they're just the Monsignors come over, like, 3 times in the same day. Like, there's just a lot of coming and going, moving, grooving, like, no one's taking a breath, no one's, turning on the TV and throwing up their feet for a couple hours to watch a movie. Like, no one's doing any of that stuff. Like, it's like, we are moving quick because there's a
It's a
lot to happen in this day. And this, like,
it's
12 and then at the end of it, they have to go have dinner, and then they gotta go fly to Geneva. So, like, they're taking, like, 2 red eyes, I'm assuming, to get all this stuff done, back-to-back red eyes. Or they're
That's a
going to New
really good
York and then
point.
to Geneva, but
Yeah.
whatever, like.
I love how practical you are because 'cause I'd never really put that together, but you're exactly right. It's not a reasonable time. There was one where it stood out to me when they pick up John's parents from the airport, and I can't remember what length of time they give them, but they are saying that, like, they in 2 hours, we have to go home, have dinner, and then get back so we can get on the
No,
plane.
I know, right? Like, what are you guys
It
doing?
it's an absurd amount of limited time that
What's the
by
price of that flight? Like,
yeah.
just buying one of that day, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, this is, way back
Yeah.
pre-terrorism and all the things of
Yeah,
9/11.
that's
I
what's age
mean,
the worst. They go pick up the people at the gate.
yeah, go pick them up and then have time to go home, eat dinner, get back, and jump on a plane probably 5 minutes before it leaves. But just yeah, the logistics of the day is a great call out because it's bullshit. It doesn't make any
There's so
sense.
much happening. I'm like, I don't know how you get it done, right? Like, you're spending 5 minutes with everyone in those scenes, and then you're moving and grooving. Maybe they live next door to the airport. I don't know, you know?
Maybe.
Alright, the other nitpick I have is, like, it's critical for the movie, and maybe I'm just channeling my Matt Drayton too much. Like, what is the rush? What's the
Mhm.
rush? Like, what really is the rush? Like,
No.
if they go to Geneva, I mean, is it because they can't stay in the same house together? Like, is it
I mean,
because, Spencer Tracy or not Spencer, Sidney Poitier is, like, being a gentleman and he won't sleep with her? Is like, "I gotta get it," you know? Like,
mhm,
what's the rush? I do not get the immediacy. He's only going to Geneva for 3 months.
mm,
Okay, come back in 3 months and have the wedding. Or, like, if you wanna be engaged, be engaged. Like, you
yeah.
be engaged for a year.
I think the only explanation given is I think in the beginning when Joey is talking to Katharine Hepburn and she's like, "But mom, if I love him, then why wouldn't I marry him right away?" And she says, "How long before you knew that you were in love with dad?" or something like that. And Katharine Hepburn, she's just like, "Yeah, you're right, whatever." That's the only explanation, but it's completely unreasonable. Absolutely. There is
I just
there's no reason. It's just manufactured drama for the sake of,
Yeah.
"You gotta make a decision right now. We have to up the stakes."
'Cause, I mean, like, again, maybe it's 1967 and you can't live together or
Mm,
something, right? And she wants to go to Geneva with him, and so they have to be married. I
mm,
don't know, maybe there's just, like, a cultural logic that I'm missing to it. 'Cause, like, I mean, hell, you and I both lived with our spouses, I think, before we got married. I mean, I
mhm,
lived with Carly, my wife, for 2 years before I married her. Now, granted, 17 or 2015 when we moved in together, um, not 1967,
no. I mean, there's not any reason I mean, even if you go back 100 years, there's no reason to, like, rush anything like this, but again, it defeats the entire purpose of kind of having this movie,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, because everything has to happen within the span of not even 24 hours, to your point. It's an entire day while they are awake. And if you don't have those tight restraints on it, I guess you just you don't have the urgency of it, but it's not realistic whatsoever, it feels like. It's especially the reasoning. It'd be different if there was, like, a valid reason, but there's not. It just, "We love each other." Shut up, Joey. Like, you don't know. You don't even know this man. He could be
Yeah, I
a
met
murderer for all you know.
I know. You met him on vacation. He told you he was a doctor. You're
Yeah.
lucky your dad went and called his PI friend or whatever, his newspaper person, to figure
Yeah.
it out. Because,
Yeah.
like, I could be just lying
It's
to you.
yeah.
Well, he's a
No,
gentleman,
that's a
a
really good
scholar.
nitpick 'cause it is. It is the cloud over the movie
Now,
of
it's the
just
suspension of disbelief that you have to have in the
mhm,
movie for the movie to work, and I think the movie pulls it off. But, like,
mhm.
if you think about it, I'm like, what are
Yeah.
we doing? Like,
Yeah,
calm
why?
down.
Why are we getting all ants in our
This is an
pants over here?
artificial pressure you're putting on this whole situation for
Yeah.
nothing. Go be engaged. That's fine. Get engaged.
Yeah.
You have my blessing to be engaged and then to wait a year to get married.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But then the movie falls apart. So,
Yeah.
it's only that part. Only that, you can't really fix it.
Yeah.
Any other
Mm.
nitpicks you have?
No, 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 no. It was, like I said, I mean, we talked through a lot of them, but it was hard. There was so much to love about this movie. It was really hard to try to be critical of it and, like,
Yeah.
just poke at it,
See,
except for old
you got to
wavy
become meaner,
piano
Justin.
hands, apparently.
No. All right. Well, then let's rate it. Should this be a classic? Yes. For me, it's a hard yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, absolutely a classic. I think this is one of, like, the rare movies where I feel like it should be required viewing, because it's such an important message, and yeah, kind of like we've talked about, it's still unfortunately,
Hmm.
relevant today, um and I think it's required viewing because it tells such a good story and a great message that our generation, future generations need to hear
Yeah.
so that we can eventually get to that point of we do not see color. We are all human beings. We're all people, and we need to get to that point. And it's outside of all of those things beyond the message, the acting. I mean, it's a phenomenal movie. So
Yeah. I mean,
it stands on its own legs.
yeah. We talked about today, right? Like, there's still like the themes of this movie are not like it's not like this is unique. Like the themes in this movie around like race and prejudice and stuff, like they make a 300 of those movies since this movie has come out.
Hmm.
They did like we talked there's 2 Academy Award, right? Like One Battle After Another has its themes. Sinners has its themes. I love Klansman, right? Like that's
Hmm.
another really good one that has like a lot of this. Like the themes that are in this movie are made all the time,
Hmm.
still to this day. So they're not covering any ground that other stuff that we have watched, but the way they talk about it, the
Hmm.
way they thoughtfully work their way through it, the way they discuss it, even when you think you're on the right side, your preconceived notions, right? Like, it's not social media, one person writes a tweet and then it's like vitriol, hate, blah, 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 it's like this, like,
Mm,
toxic discussion. It's such a respectful discussion of it that
yeah,
I think is missed.
yeah. No, it's like you say, it's a conversation. It's not a
Yeah.
shouting match, and it's yeah, it does so many things right.
It's
Mhm.
it's an important movie. It's well acted. It's got my girl, Katie Hepp, just
Yeah,
killing it.
I'm gonna
Winning
get
her
you like
winning her second Oscar for it, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you like a Katherine Hepburn T-shirt or
Oh
something
man, I'm all about her.
to replace your Benihana.
Yeah. No, it's great. It was
Yeah,
nominated we didn't talk about this, but nominated for 10 Academy Awards.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot.
and one, I think I had down at 1 2. Is that right?
Mhm, yeah, writing a screenplay and, actress for Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah,
But
which
yeah,
very well deserved. I think all around is yeah, it's phenomenal.
it is. It's worth the accolades.
Mhm.
It's easily a classic.
Yeah.
All right. Any other final thoughts?
No, just great movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah, go out and watch it for sure. Well,
Mhm.
in that case then, thanks for listening, and everyone, keep popping that popcorn.